Right now I don't have much tools. I will just hold my phone in my hand and use my microphone. Well, it's not actually mine, it's dad's. Okay, whatever. So, what wow. What's the purpose of this video? I need to learn English for some purposes, but the main I want to learn English. Hello, and so I was listening and consuming English content for more than 1.5 years. The thing is, I couldn't speak fluently, and that was actually pissing me off a little bit. So I decided to took a challenge for 44 days and try try to force myself to speak in English more fluently. And if you want to see how it was before I started it, well, okay. So today is day one of my self talking monologue. Well, what about these videos? It's just my thoughts, opinions. Here I am now. Well, yeah, I'm trying to speak without much video cuts to actually show that how I'm speaking in natural, essential, without those yeah, pauses. So, okay, let's start. First of all, my background, who I am. My name is Sanzhar. I'm 20 years old. I live in Kazakhstan. And in Kazakhstan is a country which is bordering with Russia and China, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. And I was grown up in simple, regular family, finished simple, regular school, yeah, without nothing special. Right now I'm about to finish my bachelor degree of university. It's Astana University, which is based near to Expo 2017, if anybody knows. And my environment is not, I don't have English speaking environment. Yeah, we in our country people mostly speak in Kazakh and Russian language, which implies that I'm fluent in Kazakh and Russian languages. Yeah, I'm not polyglot, I just know them. About the challenge itself, how I started the idea, how I came to this idea. Well, around 2-3 months ago, I saw the video of a man about language learning who is actually polyglot, and the method of which he used it was shadowing memorization. Yeah, I just described it like that because
Sì, è semplice nel senso che è molto molto interiore.
Sì, è semplice, nel senso che è molto molto anteriore.
what he do is just repeat after the native speakers and tries to memorize what they are speaking. So he memorized around 18 minutes of YouTube video content in Italian, and results which he showed at the end of the video was actually pretty impressive, amazing. So I was hooked in and decided to try it myself with English. Yeah, this channel is about learning English. I will share my journey of achieving it native English speak of native English speaker. So if you are interested, subscribe. Before that, how I tried it, I will better tell my English well. What is my English well? Before immersing myself into listening English content, yeah, in every YouTube and podcast and social media accounts, my English level 3 years ago was A2. Yeah, I took a test because my university in which I'm actually finishing it, education in it was in English, so I had to study English, and I wanted to know what is my English level, and it was A2. It doesn't apply speaking aspect. At the initial stage, me and my brother, we were motivated to learn English 1.5 years ago for various purposes, for various goals, and we together started watching cartoons in English with English subtitles on a laptop. Yeah, me and we together were sitting and watching it. And one 20-minute episode, we were watching it for 1 hour because every time as we see the new word in English that we didn't know meaning, we were stopping the video, pause, copying the video or word, yeah, that word, and then pasting it into a translator. and writing then meaning a translation of the video in the copybook like that with pen. Yeah, we were sitting and writing it like that. There's quite amount of pages actually. So and for 20 minutes we were spending 1 hour. But since we choose the cartoon that was interesting to us, we could bear it. Yeah, it was endurable, and we spent first day 3 hours. Yeah, for like that, and it was really time consuming, yeah, for one episode. And but after within 3 days we actually saw progress, and we started stopping video that episodes of cartoons much less times, because the words were occurring again and again and we already knew them, and therefore yeah, essential language acquisition was happening. Yes, that's how we started. And then we switched it. We started to changing every Russian language channels. We started unsubscribing from them and subscribing to English analogs, and yeah, actually immersing. And also I was downloading various podcasts and some video contents in English format, in audio format, and into my phone. And then when I was riding in the bus to my university and back to home, I was listening to it. So and most half of the things, or 70% of things, I was understanding of what the people are saying in those our videos and audio files, podcasts. Yes, that's it. But the speaking part was the most struggling part, and I wanted to actually master English language so I could speak naturally with native speakers, like a native speaker itself. So without those how to say that, limitations. Yeah, and and in order to achieve that, I decided to just try to speak at the camera, and here. Yeah, I was just picking a camera, but for me it was ineffective. So I decided to try different strategies to actually start learning a language more seriously, more effectively. Yeah, around 2 months ago I started doing that. So that's it. That's how I reached the point until 2 months ago, before I started the challenge. That's the background of my English learning. Yeah, just listening to content mostly. And about the challenge, of 44 days, I was trying to, trying to, for 44 days, I was trying to implement this method of this man from this channel. And the first day I spent around 3 hours, and so on. In various days I could spend 2, 1, and around 5 hours. So I was not consistent in numbers of hours of practicing that method. And the reason why is because it's very exhausting, it's very energy consuming. Like here is a video footage of how, here you can see how I'm actually applying this method. Practicing English, here's my laptop.
In 2006, legendary investor Warren Buffett offered to bet $1 million.
In 2006, famous investor Warren Buffett offered to bet $1 million. Offered. Do you notice how he said offered? Like, no, it's gonna be mirrored. Okay, mirrored. It's gonna be mirrored. It's gonna be mirrored. So, in 2006, it's interesting. Really? Yeah, it's mirrored. Okay, so that word I mean, offered, but it's mirrored. Okay, you got the idea. Offered. But he said like offered.
In 2006, legendary investor Warren Buffett offered to bet
In 2006, legendary investor Warren Buffett offered to bet $1 million. Offered. But I think this challenge helped me a lot in terms of pronunciation and speaking patterns or speaking skill, because you maybe notice how native speakers sometimes they speak fast, and some words in their sentences they sound like very soft, like almost, it's here hard to distinguish, but still distinguishable, like that, naturally. And when in this challenge, when I was again repeating again, it is really helpful, but very energy consuming, and in long term it's hard to actually do this challenge, do this method of shadowing and memorization. So after the 44 days, I, of course, when the challenge finished, I decided to change my tactics. But before that, I will tell you about another thing that I did inside of this challenge. It's accent acquisition. And how I started doing it, it's actually a little bit similar to shadowing memorization, but just a little bit less intense. So what you need to do is just select a human or English speaker of whose accent you like to actually imitate, yeah. And when you're selecting such people, you can do it, and you can meet these people's voices, his speeches in YouTube videos or in audiobooks. I selected the audiobook English speaker Steve Packer, if to be precise, who read the book 1984, and yeah, I liked his voice, so what I did is actually I got this tip from the teacher Igor. Yeah, thanks to him, shout out to teacher Igor. And so what you need is just voice memo app in which you record your voice. I don't have another phone, so I don't so voice memo app. When you choose selected video or audiobook, you just listen to his sentence, and then after listening, pause the video and try to repeat exactly, imitate the manner and intonation of that speaker, one sentence, and saying that. Record the voice, stop and listen to your voice, and then try to analyze where you made some mistakes in intonations, how to change it, make it a little bit more better, and try to repeat it again. You can do it maybe 3, 5, 10 times, whatever it is, but don't do too much, because you maybe will burn out. Yeah. After you think that you nailed it, you can just move to the next. And of course, it's not gonna be exactly. You're not gonna sound maybe exactly as the native English speaker right at the start, right off the bat. It's normal. It's okay. I spent around 5 to 7 hours repeating after this audiobook. Yeah, I'll put the link to the video of teacher Igor about this accent acquisition process if you are interested in. So, and let's move to the further. So yeah, in this challenge, after 30 days, I was actually curious about my English level. I haven't checked it for a very long time. Yeah. I haven't checked it before the challenge, which is unfortunate. Yeah, but on day 30, I checked my English level on Oxford website, and here you can see the results. So, and surprisingly, my grammar level was like B2. Yeah, like I answered to 34 questions from 40. So the thing is, if you will have a quality input, if you have a quality input of the content, eventually, by the time passing, the grammar will be essentially imprinted in your brain. You will know the patterns of how Americans or English speakers are speaking, writing there in English. And yes, that's it. So important aspect is on which you should focus. Maybe it's more so quality input and then acquiring vocabulary. And speaking is another term, yeah. And the key takeaways for you if you are acquiring English on your own, yeah, I'm actually have a goal to learn English myself without any teachers, just by sitting at home, yeah, having those gadget, watching YouTube, by using the internet, and by just using internet, yes. So that's it. And after 44 days of this tedious challenge, after which sometimes I was so tired of it that I was binging on series for 8 hours, 5 hours, because it was really sometimes boring, very boring, to just sitting and repeating and trying to memorize those sentences. But still, yeah, it's effective, but boring. Boring is fortunately we don't have to push ourselves like that. there are more effective methods, because language acquisition is a long-term thing. You cannot learn, you cannot master a language, any language to the fluent level in 2 days, or like 40 days, 52 months, 3 months. It requires at least a year, or 2 years, maybe 3 years to reach the native like level. And what I actually switched right now, after researching about the language acquisition methods from various polyglots, having a quality input, having a deep understanding of your vocabulary, because it's better to actually know 100 words, but totally understand them, have a crystal clear idea of what those words means and when you can use them, than knowing 1,000 words which you met like 1, 2, 3 times, yes, and sometimes, and you don't have actually, you just met them in one sentence and you don't have clear, or you don't have a clear understanding of what they are actual meaning and when they can be used. So that's it. Yeah, I switched. So yeah, again repeating that, to quality input, on which I spent from 2 to 5 hours on one day, if it's possible, to watching English video content, listening to English, and reading English books. And yeah, you maybe heard about the term of comprehensible input. I first try to watch the video content or read book without any kind of translators, without jotting down and putting them into the Anki or any flashcard application. I just read it. I just watch it and then try to understand and just try to force my brain to understand what is the meaning of the sentences are, and then after skimming through one time, I go another time, and now I start to picking those words or sentences, phrases, and putting them into definition websites, which shows synonyms and meanings in the context, also, context usage in sentence. If you still haven't changed every kind of content or media into English, well, of course, you can keep some things in your own native language if you have a work or another things, but for most part, if you want to acquire English, you should actually put a focus on it, because if you're gonna spend, for example, only 1-2 hours, it's gonna take you actually a lot of time, maybe 3 to 5 years, if you be consistent, of course. That's it. And yeah, if you will be consistent and constantly growing, you will be definitely improving, even if you don't notice the improvements. Yeah, and I'm practicing speaking actually every day from 5 to 30 minutes in order to maintain my speaking skills. So that's it. Yeah, about my English acquisition strategy. And I hope that I delivered you some sort of value. I plan to post more meaningful content, more about how to effectively study English. That's just the first video I wanted to post it. I want to publish because I was postponing this for 2 weeks around. Yeah, that's it. See you, inshallah, in the next video.